Brian Palavira on Far here with David Riddle for the first time. How you doing, David?
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
You've had quite the past year. JFK record everybody knows about. That was hugely impressive. 49th running of the event and running that course record. You were the top American at the World 100k this year, right?
It was a little surprising.
Yeah.
Personally.
Your first, I believe it was your first 100 miler at Western States.
Yes.
A little out sprinting you seen on the track, right?
Yeah, had a strong finish.
Got your 11th place there.
Yeah.
So all in all, a very good year. How are you feeling right now, headed into your first UROC?
I don't know, honestly. You know, I took a bit of downtime after Western States, and just in the last month or so, I've kind of gotten back in the ultra training, big miles, and running hard again. So this is kind of my first test of the fall. I don't really have any reason to doubt my fitness, but it'll be a test for sure.
Yeah. People probably aren't, even after probably some written reviews on iRun, people aren't all that familiar with. What's your running background? How long have you been running?
I've been running since the 7th grade. I mean, I ran middle school, I ran high school, went to college, I ran cross country and track at Auburn University. Never was on scholarship, kind of mediocre at best in Division I distance running. But I just loved the sport and stayed with it. I tried to run fast on a road marathon for a few years after college, and didn't look like I was going to get the Olympic trials qualifier for the marathon, so I started running trails and just kind of fell in love with that, and the long distances seemed to really work out for me. So
if I remember correctly, you did sort of when you were moving into ultras, you ran a bunch of 50Ks and sort of technical ones, and
yeah, I've always been pretty conservative in my racing and race approach, and so I didn't want to jump into a 50 milers and 100 milers right away, so I just ran a lot of 50Ks and really built up my strength. And just in the area I lived in at the time, North Alabama, some of those 50Ks are actually kind of technical. The Appalachians tend to be pretty technical in areas, so that's kind of what I cut my teeth on. But they weren't mountainous. So not all that difficult, really.
Gotcha. But you do have experience on technical trail, which this course is going to be a mix of technical trail, some moderate single track, and then some road running.
Yeah, I think I like the mix here. We were just talking amongst ourselves a minute ago about how much climb there is on this course, and I think that's the big question mark for me. I like the mix of technical trail and the road stuff. I think I can do well on both of that. It's just how much climb do we have.
I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit to try to get some of this water off. It's fine. We're even going to keep that in. Keep rolling. So yeah, the mix of, I mean, you went out to Quad Rock this spring, right?
Yeah.
And that didn't go so well.
You know, I just don't have any experience with that much climb. It was just climbing straight up and straight down. A little bit of altitude there. I think 8,000 feet there, and I didn't expect that to bother me, but it really kind of did. And honestly, it bothered me the first 30 miles of Western States. I just didn't feel right, and more so my leg. I mean, my mind, my head, my stomach than my legs.
Gotcha. But, so it was less the elevation change than the absolute altitude of it.
Well, I mean, I don't claim to be a good climber. I don't have anything to train on, honestly. So it's just hard.
Where are you based out of these days?
Cincinnati.
Okay.
There's hills there, but they're 300 feet. That's all you've got. So I've tried to incorporate a little more treadmill climbing, like set the treadmill at 10% and run for an hour and that type of thing. But it doesn't quite replicate real running uphill. I don't think.
Especially not on technical trail.
Exactly.
The choppiness of it.
Right.
Gotcha. Well, just looking a little bit past this year, you were 11th at Western States last year. Is that a race you're thinking about going back to, or what are your thoughts on next year? Yeah,
I'd really like to try to get back into Western States, and I feel like I kind of know what I'm getting into now, and I definitely feel like I can improve and run well there. But because I was 11th, I have to get that qualifying spot now.
Are you gonna go? It's JFK.
JFK is on the calendar, so I'll give it a shot there, and I like my chances, but anything can happen. You just never know quite what kind of day you're going to have, especially with the the talent level of the ultra world right now is just growing by leaps and bounds so much so, and there's a lot of guys that could potentially come in the top 2 at that race.
Yeah.
So I think the rest of my spring schedule kind of depends on if I get that qualifier and if I have to go chasing other Ultra Cup.
Banging down to Bandera,
right,
or whatever else.
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Well, cool. Then we'll probably see you around a couple more times.
Sure,
and
sure.
Thank you, David.
Thanks for having me.
Best of luck tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
Let's get out of the rain.
Yeah.